I think I'm a little sick. I think because the kids have been sick and like every child has been sick. And I did Ellie's birthday on Saturday. And I don't know, I'm feeling kind of sick.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Get it together. Disgusting.
I know. I just want to be in bed. But I have trivia tonight. And the show's extra long.
You getting paid for it yet?
Nope. I don't know if anybody's getting paid extra.
No, nobody at this point, but I feel like if you're hourly, that's the easiest way to get paid extra. If you're salary, it's like, well, we give you a salary and we can't just change it. But when you put fucking hours onto a time card, I told George this yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, you getting paid for this? He's like, well, no. It's like, you should put it on your time card immediately.
Yeah.
You're not going to be fired. He's like, he said, I'm scared. He said, you're not going to be fired. What are they going to fire you for? For billing for hours you actually worked?
Yeah. See, that's the problem with me is that I've always padded my hours because they've told me that's what I should do to compensate for not paying me enough or whatever. Because they can't justify me having a certain hourly wage being part-time because they can't just fucking make it a thing that this is just how much I get paid. So I'm over my average hours for part-time for the year. So I have to I can do a maximum of 28 for, I don't know how long, whether it's like a month or two or if it's the year. So I can't bill more than 28 hours, which I've been doing 29 to 34. So like for one pay period, it's 29. And for the next pay period, it's 34. And that was, which I was told to do. So now they're saying, nope, the rest of the time you can only do 28. So I'm taking a pay cut.
Well, then if they want to play their legal games where they don't have to give you benefits and treat you like a full-time employee because you're going over the minimum number of hours, I guess the maximum number of hours, then they should increase your pay. That solves that. Give you a higher hourly rate. And then it's like, well, yeah, okay, I'll bill for 28 because you just gave me an additional $10 an hour.
I don't think they can't justify it. So Ken said that there's he mentioned something like 3 million and 1 million. I don't remember what he said about it, but it's like we're under 3 million than we're supposed to be or whatever. And so like this, they're trying to make up $1 million. And so they're being really stingy about people's time. So that just confirmed all the shitty things that are happening in the world, right? Where it's like, we have to make sure that our profit is this, and we're not going to take any type of pay cut. We're going to still make millions of dollars, but the lowly people down the payroll, they can they're only allowed to work 14 hours this week, shit like that.
Yeah, I assume they're not hitting their sales goals. That would be my assumption. And
probably.
Falling short, that's always where they go first. The people who make the least. Like, I don't know, just cut that. Right. I'm surprised they haven't come after me yet and said, what the fuck are we paying you for?
I know. Maybe you're next.
To some extent, it's not that I'm hidden. Obviously, my time card is approved every week.
It does seem like you're kind of out of sight.
Well, I technically am an employee of that third party payroll company.
Right. Oh, so maybe that's like a different budgeting thing.
Yeah, I don't think it appears on their spreadsheet of just salaries paid out. In some way it does, but these companies always have weird games that they play. Like I found out that some people are working full time, but they're temp with the company. And they technically work for the company at this point. It's not a third-party payroll company. But, when someone's temp, it basically is you get all the benefits. You're treated like full-time, except there's an end date attached.
Oh, right.
And that end date probably will come, and then you will be extended if you're needed.
Yeah, that's like what you were on with the radio station. It was similar.
Yeah, but
remember, it was like you can only do it a max of like... Right.
Yeah, but that is a third-party payroll company. In this instance, these people work for the company. the point is, when they report cost of business or they need to show what it costs to run the company, those salaries aren't included on that. They're lumped in with like bonuses. So people who get bonuses, that payout doesn't count as part of cost of business. It's all fucking games. It's what they're doing. They're playing games with numbers on paper so they can show something.
Well, I asked to just be put under contract. I said, like, can't you just say, this is how much I make? Because I was like, I don't need to be full-time. You know, if that's the issue, I just want to be paid the same. And I feel like it's so insulting to tell me, first of all, just for the position I am in the show and the how well the show does and the radio fucking station we're on. Like, I just feel, I guess like feelings don't matter, but it feels below my sort of station. No pun intended. But, and then also, yeah, it feels insulting that I'm treated this way. I guess it's all feeling. I shouldn't, with business, right? It doesn't matter what you feel.
Well, that part of that's bullshit. The whole, it's not personal, it's business thing. It's very personal. You expect people to dedicate large parts of their life to you. So yeah, it's personal. I don't want to hear we can do what we want and treat you like shit because it's business and you should get over it.
Well, that's true, but I mean, I'm not being treated like shit, but I am.
There was a more generalized statement, but that's the way they always come across. Well, you just need to get over it. I think, feelings aside, the show exists. Certain people get paid more. Certain people are treated differently. Mm-hmm. Why isn't it standardized across the show? That's not rooted in feeling. That's rooted in logic. What's going on? You could then break that logic down and say, well, Eric is the main host. The show could exist with just him and nobody else. Okay, fine. Then you give them that. But, across the board, it's not just feeling. So no need to dismiss. There's somebody that I work with who got a promotion and they now make $2,000 less because before they got the promotion, they were full-time salaried, but they got overtime and they worked a lot. So they made an additional, let's say $10,000 last year in overtime. They get the promotion, which means they will have more responsibility and more duties. So more work.
Right.
Which probably will take at least the amount of time, if not more, than they were working previously. But they took the overtime away. And with the salary increase, it actually falls to $2,000 less than what they made for the lesser job. It's fucking dumb. It makes zero sense. And on that note, we can move into this week's topic, which is fingernails.
That's great. I'm doing my fingernails right now. Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ, and fingernails doesn't necessarily need to be the full topic, I guess, but it could be a launching off point.
Yeah.
I sprung that on you for the listening audience. You had no clue I was going to say that. I had no clue you were doing your fingernails, but it seems to be something in the air.
Have you ever eaten your fingernails?
No, I've never chewed on my fingernails. I've never eaten my fingernails. The reason I bring it up, I said fingernails, is a large chunk of fingernail was ripped off yesterday.
What happened?
To the point.
In an industrial accident?
I don't really know because it didn't hurt in the moment. I didn't realize it until it got caught on something. And I was like, what? And I looked down and would say about 1/12 of my nail and a right angle in the corner. It's my left index finger. If you're looking at it, the upper right corner, almost a right angle, got chunked out.
Oh.
I mean, it was flopping, and then I was going to leave it, and I thought, is there some kind of nail glue or something you can put on top of a nail in this situation?
Yeah, there's a lot you can do.
Well, I was thinking about what I could do, and then I scratched my leg because it was itching, and it got caught, and it bent back more, and it hurt, so I just ripped it off in the moment. I said, fuck this. So part of the nail bed is exposed. I mean,
does it feel? Is it sore?
Yeah, it's sore.
Yeah. You putting a Band-Aid on it?
Yeah, but then it got all moldy overnight.
Moldy?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily moldy, but my skin was discolored and it was shriveled and it was all wet.
Oh.
So
What kind of Band-Aid do you have?
It's a normal Band-Aid.
Well, there's different kinds. There's like the cloth ones, and then there's the ones that are like clear plasticky, and then there's
the one at work was the plastic one.
There are those ones that are really foamy.
The one at work was the plastic one.
Okay.
I was going into the first aid kit, which is on the wall in an office at work, and some other guy that I know was in there, and he was like digging around for something, and he said, "What do you need?" And I said, "A Band-Aid." And he's like, "Which one do you want, cloth or plastic?" And I said, I would go with plastic. I don't know why. I didn't ask why. It feels like plastic maybe isn't the way to go, but I just accepted the plastic and put it on. And
if you're dealing with a lot of water, I would say plastic is good because then you can make like a watertight seal with the plastic.
I went with plastic and then I switched it out at home and went with cloth. No, I'll go with nothing. I'll expose it to the elements.
That's good. You have to do both. You have to protect. Like I always feel like sometimes I wear a Band-Aid just to protect something. Like I don't need it just because it like feels stingy or sore, you know? Like I would put a Band-Aid on that just to protect it.
Do you get the Band-Aid that matches your skin tone? Because that exists now. That's nice.
I love those. I don't need them because I'm you're
the
white
default color of the Band-Aid.
Yeah, which is upsetting. But
I can't speak because I was never in a spot where a Band-Aid didn't match my skin tone. So maybe
that's what I mean.
But to me, just in a vacuum, I don't know if I would have cared. But again, I can't say that I wouldn't have cared if I were black or a darker skin and I couldn't find a Band-Aid to match. But because I've always had the matching Band-Aid, the privilege of the Band-Aid. But in my mind, I was like, okay, some people wear neon Band-Aids.
Well, that's different. But like if it is messed up that the just like the standard Band-Aid without design is Caucasian skin colors. Yeah. I mean, stuff like that, when you extrapolate it out, it's very small and may seem sort of meaningless, but it has a lot of meaning in a lot of different areas.
Well, when you dig into
it's like this is normal.
When you dig into the invention of the Band-Aid and the mass production of the Band-Aid and the conversations that happened in the boardroom.
Yeah.
What color should we make it?
Oh, we want it to match people's skin. Yes. Okay, then beige.
How dare you even ask?
Right.
But I saw that there are various tones now. So I guess we've won. The world is a sequel.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we need. You know what I mean? Like that's when people make an argument. Like we had a black president. Oprah Winfrey is popular. Like we have Band-Aids with your color on it. So stop complaining.
I mean, again, there's always two sides to it. I'm not supporting the argument that because we've had a black president, therefore, it's all done. So shut up. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that. But on the flip side, you get mayors, black mayors, like Chicago has a black mayor. Uh-huh. And I heard the mayor speaking about something about how the city, and look, Chicago has many problems and many issues, and a lot of it lies in the poverty, and a lot of the people who are poor are black in Chicago. And I know there's a lot of violence there, but he was talking personally about his life and how things aren't equitable or equal. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, you're mayor of the city, you run the city. That's a pretty good position to be in. So if you want to talk larger issue, then fair, I'd be on board. But when you're just talking about yourself personally, it's hard to say. Maybe you went through more. You probably went through more to get there. But the fact you're there and you play the victim at that point, it's a bit off-putting. Why don't you say, hey, I'm in this spot. It was maybe difficult to get to this spot, harder than it would have been for someone else, but I can hopefully enact some change. But it seemed like, I think what I'm getting at is it sounded like an excuse to not actually get anything done. It's like, I can't change things because it's still all shit and it's not my fault.
If he was anyone else except a politician, or someone with a lot of power and just in maybe a place of prestige or something, then I would say maybe that's true, but any sort of, I don't trust him because he's a politician.
Yeah. Fair assessment.
Yeah.
I think that's part what rubbed me the wrong way is it seemed like he was leaning into, things that really do feel like, talking about my exposed nail bed and it's sore. It's like there are things in society that feel like they're exposed and sore at this moment, and this guy's just digging into it, even though
Right.
he's
Like exploiting it. Like you said.
he's in a spot to possibly enact some change as mayor of the fucking city.
Yeah.
And he's just, no, nothing can be done, and pressing down on that nail bed. It's like, how does that feel? And nobody's going to say anything because most people don't want to venture into that territory anymore.
Sure.
Like, well, yeah, okay, dude. Just take some ownership. I feel like I would say it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
May not get everything done, but I got some ideas. Not making excuses from the start.
Right. And maybe that's what it is too. Like it does show a bit of weakness, and you are someone who's in power. And so you want to, it's not just like an issue of race or an issue of politics. It's also an issue of like, oh, I expect something more of you because you are in a position of power and you are a leader in this position. So I'm expecting you to lead instead of being like, yeah, I'm with you. Everything sucks. Can't do it.
Yeah,
because the world sucks.
That's the game plan for politicians now, though. I want to change things, but I can't because society's all fucked up, and the other side pieces of shit. And I want to, and I will continue to fight if you reelect me. So just reelect me, and I will continue to fight the good fight. I won't get anything done, but that's what are you going to do? You need someone to fight the fight. Okay, great.
And then just their cadence, right? And I will fight the fight for you. Woo! I feel like I want to cheer after that.
And then meanwhile, the mayor of New York City, all about his own celebrity. That guy fooled people, Eric Adams, into getting into office. Because it was around the time of abolish the police. No, what was it? Defund the police.
Defund, yeah.
And a lot of the communities where there was crime were against that. They're like, no, we want better relations with the police. That's a real problem, is we don't have good relations with the police. They wanted community policing. And Eric Adams, as a former cop, was appealing on that front because it wasn't defund. It's easy to say defund when you're a rich white person sitting in your cushy neighborhood. And
right.
There's not so much crime. And as an ideal, it's nice because you can afford to have that ideal. But it clearly the rest of the city, or the majority of the city, not that many people go out and vote in a fucking mayoral election, which is a shame. Part of it's that it's an odd year. They do it in years after national elections. So I feel as though that in itself is a problem. You can't burden people going out, every year to vote. How dare you? But he was elected.
I don't think it's just rich white people that say defund the police just to like signal their virtue signal. I think it's in the communities that are affected negatively by the police.
From what I saw and what I read, and I'm not saying that there aren't people who have that viewpoint, but what I was digging into this, they wanted reform with the police department. But when crime is real, you don't want no police department.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, well, then defund the police because they're shitheads in our neighborhood. The police that come are shitty to us, the community we're paying them, right? But then when something really goes down, it's like, well, all right, well, now what? I guess you don't call the police.
Well, that's why it was reform the police, community policing, better relations with the police, better training with the police.
That's good. I like that.
Not completely defund the police, which seemed to be coming from people who were in a position to say such a thing and didn't have to deal with crime on such a regular basis. And these days people complain about the crime in New York and, oh my God, it's never been the same people who said defund the police. And I don't even think the crime is much worse. I think it's just more publicized for whatever reason.
And numbers, like if someone tried to come at you with numbers about, why crime is worse, I feel like numbers can be skewed and read in all different ways, Well, it's up by 90 whatever percent. It's like,
well, they manipulate, and the police departments don't report everything, or they lump things into different categories. So the crime doesn't look as bad. It's all trash.
Everything's trash.
Yeah, Greg. Yeah. I know, but that's not. I was bringing up Eric Adams.
Fingernails.
I was bringing him up to get back to the fact that when he was elected, it became apparent he was only in it for his celebrity. And I'm sure that he gets manicures on a regular basis.
Probably.
It's maybe part of the city budget. We pay for the mayor's manicures. I've never had a manicure myself.
Oh. It's nice. Your nails look real nice after.
I'm a man.
Yeah, you don't want to be such a puss.
That's not the reason. I've never had a manicure.
Oh, why?
I just don't feel the need for one. What are they? It's strange. I don't like the dynamic of the manicure in the first place. If you go into a shop and there's somebody there who's to rub your fucking hands and take care of your nail. I know it's their job and they want to make money. So who am I to say I'm not going to give you any money? You're being forced to do this job.
But you don't like the dynamic in a restaurant, let alone someone who doesn't speak English very well and is like rubbing your feet.
Yeah, what an awful thing. You want to talk about equality? That's the antithesis of it all. I'm coming in and you rub my feet.
That's right. Clean out my toenails.
I can't get past that part of it. And I have to assume the people doing it hate it. They absolutely hate it. So they secretly despise you. At the end of the day, sure, they like your money. They get some money. They're able to survive. But if you ask them, what would you like to do with your life? If you could say anything, if you could be anything, do anything, how many people would say, I want to give manicures and pedicures?
Well, it's a little different because it's not just giving manicures and pedicures. It's like doing nail art. It's learning a skill, like a trade of how to do acrylics, how to do these Gel X applications. It's how to do different art, especially now. Like the art has changed a lot on the nails, so it is a bit different.
Can it really get to like $10-15 a fucking nail if you're getting some fancy art or something?
Well, 15 times
more.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
For a nail that's going to chip later in the day.
Oh, it won't chip later in the day because it's an acrylic.
No, it'll come off. It'll chip. If it's a Lee press on.
It's not that. Well, okay. So nails have changed a lot. Like I wear press-ons and I love them. And I remember trying press-ons when I was a kid, and it was like you said, Lee press-ons, and they were horrible. But it's changed so much. And yeah, it's like when you do acrylics or when you do those Gel X or dip powders and stuff, like I think a lot of it came from like car technology, like car paint. It's not car paint, but it's a lot of it like the holographic stuff. Some of it is the same stuff that they would put like on a bass boat.
Are they doing like a base coat? Are they doing a primer and then like a coat and then a clear coat?
Well, that's like basic manicure.
I know, but that's how you paint cars. I'm wondering.
Oh, then yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do a primer. So you dehydrate the nail and then you put on a primer.
How do you dehydrate it? With a food like the
alcohol.
Ronco food dehydrator.
Yeah, you set it and
no, that's the rotisserie.
Oh, shoot.
That's the chicken rotisserie grill.
Do you remember during that infomercial, they talk about his other products real quick and he's like sprays his head with that hairspray that was hair?
Yes, for bald people, just the spray that you would put on top of your head.
It was like in the middle of his rotisserie chicken stuff. He was like spraying his hair. He's like, see? And then they're like, oh! It's like he was playing the hits.
The food dehydrator, for whatever reason. Anyway, before I get into that, yes, the audience would cheer. And it was like an artist on stage, like, play that song that I like. And then he mentions,
hey, it's the hair thing.
The Pocket Fisherman. And then people, yeah! The food dehydrator. As a kid, that one, that really appealed to me. I don't know why, because I wouldn't
Did it Ron Pope appeal to you?
The idea, I don't even like fruit that much. So why the hell would I eat dried fruit? I don't even think I like jerky that much. I'll eat jerky, but I'm not a person who seeks out jerky. I think I just like the idea, like the process of itself was appealing. It's like,
well, they made it so fun looking.
I would love to get in there and make all types of jerky, not just beef jerky. Here's ham jerky.
Wow.
Here's turkey jerky.
You can make little apple slices for your kids.
I wonder what dehydrated celery would look like since it's mostly water. Just a shriveled stick.
Ew.
Loses most of its mass. It comes out 20 times smaller.
All right, look. So he invented a karaoke machine, the pocket fisherman, the Veg-O-Matic, the buttoneer, the smokeless ashtray, Propeel's electric food dehydrator, the inside the egg scrambler. Oh yeah, you remember that? GLH9, great looking hair formula number 9, hair in a can spray, rhinestone stud setter, later called the bedazzler, the cap snaffler.
What the hell's the cap snaffler?
I don't know.
Well, here you go, celery. So when you dehydrate celery, which people do, this is the thing. I'm looking at pictures of it, but it does get really small and it'll fall through most dehydrator tray racks. So you have to take caution with how you position them on the rack, or they're going to fall. Because that celery shrivels up into little strips.
Okay, the cap snaffler is a way. Oh, it's so many things. Oh my gosh. It'll open up cans for you. Like it'll open up bottles. It also looks like it's a knife sharpener. It's so many things.
I did a search for cap snaffler.
Yeah.
And a Reddit post was the first thing. And it said, What is this? And there's a picture of it. And then somebody says, it's a cap snaffler. Snaffles caps off any size jug, bottle, or jar. And it really, really works.
The Propeel automatic pasta maker, the Ronco electric food dehydrator, the Ronco 6-star plus knives, the Showtime rotisserie and barbecue.
I mean, look, that guy, he was the Edison of our time.
He really was. He was the Edison. He was Benjamin Franklin.
If he had lived earlier, he would have
Michelangelo.
He would have been just as revered as Edison. But, the height of consumerism and all the products people think they don't need, he's got lost in the mix. But you need a snaffler.
I can't, I'm always trying to sharpen a knife and open a bottle. And I just don't know how to sort of juggle those two things in the kitchen. If they only had one strange sounding contraption. Why is it called snaffler?
It's catchy.
What's a snaffler?
This guy's good at marketing. Any great inventor is good at marketing also. Just the fact you're asking that question, what's a snaffler? Yeah. It's got you exactly where he wants you. So
in Wiktionary, as it says snaffler, one who snaffles.
So they dehydrate your nails. Okay, great.
Oh yeah, dehydrate the nails, put on a base coat, put on if we're talking about we're just talking about like a regular nail, like just manicure.
Yeah, I'm bored.
Yeah, it's fine. Base coat, top coat, you're done.
I'm bored running through. I mean, I'm interested on some level because it's big business and it's obviously very expensive, and I know that nail art is advanced over the years, and they bedazzle fingernails and all that shit. Christina, anytime she goes out, she comes home with more nail polish.
Awesome.
I know. I laugh at this point. Or a package arrives and I ask what it is. And then I realize I don't need to ask what it is. But there are probably hundreds of different colors. And I've offered my nails as a testing ground. If she wants to see, she doesn't know which one to go with. I'll let her paint,
that's so
the different
nice.
colors on my nails so that she can gauge. At some point in my life, I could see going around with painted nails, but I think at this point, it's not that I feel as though men shouldn't have painted nails. It's the men who do paint their nails. I mean, there's some people who do it, but there's other people that they're clearly just painting it because they're trying to show something. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't believe in these gender okay, you're going too far with this. So now
you're not trying to associate yourself with someone else making some point that you don't understand or agree with. So,
do you want to paint your nails or not? If you do, then great, you should do it.
Right.
I don't care who you are. The idea at some point would have appealed to me probably when I was wearing eyeliner. When I broadcasted from that Dashboard Confessional show where I had my friend Kara straighten my hair. My hair was very long at the time, but because it's curly, it was a fro. Just to make myself look emo, and I drew the fake tattoos on me. We put on eyeliner, and I have to say I kind of liked the eyeliner. And I thought I may do this. I may continue to do that. I was wearing women's sunglasses at the time. We're talking 2005, 2006. So I was 23,
experimenting.
24. I don't know if that's experimentation.
Yeah,
sure. Putting eyeliner on. Like the actor from the Batman films, who always seems like he has eyeliner on.
Oh, the mayor?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does look like he doesn't.
No, he doesn't wear.
Those are his eyelashes. They're like the placement of his hair and his eyelashes is so close together then.
Nestor Carbonell.
His name is Nestor?
Yeah.
What a terrible name.
There's an accent over the E, though, so maybe I'm pronounced. But he's an American actor, so that's a fancy name for an American.
Well, he's Italian.
Nestor Carbonell. He does not wear eyeliner, but it just looks like naturally.
Yeah.
He has eyeliner. So during that period, I could have seen myself getting into it. Sometimes I want to get back into the women's sunglasses.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wayne
if
Coyne,
you find something you like.
Wayne Coyne wore them.
The same glasses you were wearing?
I did find a pair that were similar, big white ones.
Cool.
They would double as eye protection when I was riding the motorcycle. What a weird time. Here I am riding a motorcycle with big wind. They were perfect for eye protection because they were so big.
Yeah.
Like it covered, instead of wearing goggles or a face shield, I was wearing those, which may as well have been goggles. I thought it was a good look. I probably look like a fucking idiot.
Nah, when you're on a motorcycle, you had a fun look, I bet. It sounds fun.
I was not riding the way you should ride with actual, protective clothing. I'd wear fucking t-shirts and jeans and Onitsuka Tiger shoes, Asics. And fall off that thing. There's zero protection. It was pretty stupid. And that bike just sits still in my parents' garage. And I think I'm finally coming to terms with it. 16 years after I've last ridden it, 16 and a half years, that, you know what? You're not really going to ever ride that again. Maybe you should just get rid of it. Sell it to someone. Some guy wanted to buy it recently. He came to the house to do some work and he asked about it. And I said, no.
Oh, you should sell it.
No.
Didn't your dad fix it up?
We tried to fix it up. We replaced the carburetors, and it was because it sat for so long and the carburetors were gunked up.
Right.
But as I was trying to get it to start, I was spraying some fluid into the carburetors and it caught fire. And I thought the whole thing was going to blow up. Like the hose outside. The motorcycle was in the garage. That was bad enough. If it did blow up and catch fire, we should have been out in the open completely. And then the hose was tangled around the fence and I couldn't get it close to the
that's so scary.
motorcycle.
And at that point, I would wonder, is water the right thing? You know how like some fires, you shouldn't pour water on them?
Yeah, if it's a grease fire or something.
But even something like that, because it's a chemical, I'd be like, is water right?
Well, in the moment, you're like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. Freaking out.
Time really does slow down in those moments. You're like, oh my God, it's going to blow up any second. And the truth is, you don't want the flame getting to the gas tank. And if it gets into the fuel lines, which, there's a way. Sure, if the fire's in the carburetors, it's not a good thing. But we ended up getting the hose and putting the fire
Was your
out.
dad there?
Yeah, he was there for that.
Was he freaking out?
I think a bit. I think on some level he was freaking out. And then after that, the work on the motorcycle kind of stopped. And I don't think it runs properly. And I probably should just get rid of the thing. If anyone out there wants 1975 Honda, it's an XS 650, something like that. It's a 650 cc. It's in great physical condition. It has very few miles. What did I say? 65 or 75? It's a 75.
I don't know.
Well, if I said it's a 75 with not that many miles.
Sell it.
Yeah.
But then they'll know where your parents live.
Whatever. Okay. You have to fix it up, like the engine. But that's the thing. Motorcycle engines, if you know anything about it, apparently aren't too hard to fix. Oh. And it probably needs new tires because it's the same tires that have been sitting on there for years and years. There's not too much tire rot, it doesn't look, but I don't think you'd want to go out on these tires that haven't been used in a decade and a half.
Tires are the nails of the motorcycle.
Yeah, but if anyone wants it, reach out to Autumn.
Okay.
But they know how to reach you.
Yeah, it's true. Tell Greg. Yeah.
They'll go on the Instagram or something. But I'm serious at this point. I don't want it anymore. Get rid of it.
Yeah, you should get rid of it.
Because if somebody can fix it up and ride it, I would prefer that. It would be nice if it got back on the road.
I'm sure, too, your parents would love to have it leave their space.
Yeah, it doesn't take up too much room, but sure. It has just been sitting there.
Yeah.
My sister's dumb boyfriend at some point rode it, like someone she broke up with a long time ago. But after I dropped it off, I should have taken the key and hidden it. But he rode it around, and I don't know if he did anything to it, but seemingly that's when it stopped working. Correlation is causation in this instance. Boy. But I also let it sit there.
Idiot.
I also let it sit there for a few years with gas in the tank before I emptied the tank out. Real stupid stuff. Didn't prep that thing because in my mind.
Yeah, you were like going to come back for it or something.
Well, the gas thing should have been done immediately anyway. Shouldn't have let it sit at all because gas after like 3 months goes bad.
Yeah, that was always my thing about watching The Walking Dead. And they would be, however long the zombie apocalypse has happened. And then they're just like finding cars and driving them around. Like that gas,
did they ever reference that?
Gas is dead. No.
It should, the gas would not last that long.
No.
Doesn't have a infinite shelf life.
No.
But yeah, so in my mind, there was this idea, the motorcycle, I'm going to bring it up to New York. I'm going to ride it over the bridges. It's going to be beautiful and scenic and amazing.
Such a romantic.
But I never did it. Because somewhere in the back of my head, I thought, you survived. You lived.
Yeah, don't push it.
You didn't get hurt. You didn't get mangled. Maybe. But it would be a convenient mode of transportation for the city. Easy to park.
Oh, yeah?
You can squeeze it in between cars.
That's what you should have, actually, instead of a car.
I mean, I'm not saying it's the most practical. I use the car to get out of the city.
Right.
Christina comes along. I guess 2 people can fit on a motorcycle. You do errands, so you need the car to pick things up. It's not like strapping on a backpack and going to the Publix and getting a Publix sub and a couple of deli meats and a loaf of bread and riding home to your house in Cabbagetown. Those were the days. It was all about the image. Yeah, I should have painted my nails then. I could have contributed to the overall look, the aesthetic.
Do you, does Christina paint her nails all the time? Or does she just like buying new nail
She's
polishes?
Always painting them. Always painting.
It's her natural nails?
Yeah, I mean, she will go to the place and get the fake ones sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like those end up coming off or they chip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't really chip, but they start lifting. And then you put your hands through your hair and then like a little strand of hair will go underneath the part that's lifting and like you pull it out. It's annoying. And for me, I love like picking at my nails. And so it's a fun little project sometimes.
You bite your nails?
No, never.
She was just showing me pictures earlier when she was stressed, like during COVID and work. Because I guess, we all got laid off immediately because we weren't full-time employees at the time.
Right.
We all kind of lost our jobs when COVID first hit. And then they pretty quickly brought us back. But she was stressed and chewed her nails down to some ungodly level. Like, I don't even understand how it doesn't hurt once you get that low.
Yeah. Especially those people that have just those little slivers of like a rectangle of a nail because they've bitten them so far down to the bone.
Yeah, I've never been a nail chewer. I don't even like having my nails a little long. Like I feel it. It feels gross to me. So thinking about being a woman who grows nails out, zero. I don't think I have the ability to get to that point. It's kind of like a beard. When I grow my beard, people ask, well, why did you shave it? And it's like, I just didn't like the way it felt anymore. It gets to a point where it's like, ugh, I don't like this feeling. So it's time to go. And same with nails.
See, I like it. I like the nails a lot. And my hands are small. And when I have nails on, I like them a little longer. So it makes my fingers look longer. And I like it.
Optical illusions. I get it.
Yeah. Especially now that I'm so used to the nails being long. When I don't have them on and it's just my natural nail, I'm like, man, my small fingers are so stubby.
How do people... I actually saw a demonstration once, not on an actual butt, but somebody with really long fake nails, like really long.
Yeah.
Showed how, because I guess the question comes up a lot, how do you wipe your ass?
Yeah.
And they showed how they did it. But how do you type? How do you do any of that?
Oh, that is hard. That is hard. Especially, I can tell when I have them just like a little too long because I really can't type. And then what's funny is like on my phone, I like get used to my nails being a certain way when I text. And then when I am not wearing the nails, I can't text normal because I've like conditioned my brain to compensate for the nails.
Yeah, just typing with this broken nail and the Band-Aid on my finger. It's not proving to be easy.
Yeah, when my nails are off, I love typing like on my keyboard, on like the laptop because it's so easy.
Yeah, you get that WOM up.
WOM up?
Yeah, you get that WOM, words a minute. Most people say WPM. I just popped my P there on the mic. Most people say WPM, words per minute. But whenever we were doing that in computer class.
Yeah, in high school, I took a typing class.
Yeah, it was WOM, and I think WOM is better because you can say WOM. The other one's whoopum, whoopum.
Oh, what we were talking about this, the difference between where you say... Okay, where it's the abbreviation of a word, but then you say the word as the abbreviated word, like scuba. Versus like VIP. Or RSVP.
Who was talking about this?
Me and my boyfriend.
Okay.
And his family.
The way you presented it, I thought that we were talking about it. But,
sorry, I'm not feeling great. My brain's a little foggy.
I guess VIP, yeah, could be one of those that works. VIP.
See, but you don't say VIP.
You could.
You say VIP.
You could change it. That feels like an arbitrary one. I think when you can say scuba, or if the acronym creates, if not an actual word, something that sounds like a word, it has the proper arrangement of letters,
right?
Vowels and consonants. I think people tend to go with that. So VIP feels like an outlier where they didn't go with that.
Well, an RIP. People say RIP now as like a little joke, but nobody really says RIP.
And I think I've heard VIP. I'm a VIP.
No one said that.
No, yes, I've heard it.
No,
I've heard it. How dare you?
Some guy who paints his nails probably.
I've heard it. No, a guy who paints his nails would never say such a thing. Those are two totally different people.
Oh, okay.
The guy who says I'm a VIP is a guy who like, I would never paint my nails. I'm a man.
VIP.
I think those are opposite ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I in general, I like accessorizing.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, because you like those watches and glasses.
I have 4 pair of glasses in rotation. And if you go into the drawer, there's probably another 5 pair. But I don't count those because those don't get worn. So I have 4 different pair in rotation, even though I've been wearing the same pair now for a few months straight, because I finally went all in with Moscot, a New York City heritage brand. But it's one of those places where the frames themselves are $350 and the lenses are another $125. And in the world of glasses, I guess that's still not that expensive. But
it's not?
You can get into designer brands that go way up. And even non-designer brands, but other glasses companies. Like there's some company out of Japan. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But, they don't make huge quantities, and it's all about the construction and the materials.
Okay, get over it.
You're going to be paying a lot more. So, $430 after I found my $50 off coupon or whatever percent off coupon it was.
Okay.
as a person who came from Zenny.com very early on,
Absolutely.
before they started promoting, I found it and I was just guessing things like pupillary distance. I mean, I was measuring, and apparently it's not that hard of a thing
It's
to
on your
measure yourself.
prescription.
I didn't have a prescription. This was before you had to submit a prescription. I was taking my contact prescription, converting it to glasses, which, there is a bit of an adjustment there. So that in itself wasn't the right thing to do.
Okay.
And I was just filling out the forms myself because I didn't want to go to the eye doctor. And Zenny didn't give a shit. Like, yeah, okay, here are your glasses. Give us that $20. So moving from that to, Qubits.com, where it's $200. It was actually $175 for glasses and lenses until they upped it $25.
That's expensive. I feel like Zenny is really the way to go because
those are crap. Those are poorly made glasses. There is a difference in the hardware, like the hinges and the way the hinges are put in. Some are just like Zenny's probably just glued on.
No, they're not glued on.
Yes. Like the good glasses, they're drilled through, and there's like multiple hinges, not just one little shitty one. There is a difference, and even the quality of the acetate. There's a difference in the glasses. Now, a lot of it's still markup. I'm not saying that 400, like whatever these glasses ultimately end up costing, even with the increased craftsmanship, it's not that big of a jump. You're paying for a name. And the internet has allowed these companies, because Moscot was a local New York City shop. They had a few stores at some point, but then they can expand out to the rest of the world and really lean into that New York City thing, because people are like, ooh, these glasses come from New York and Steve Carell wears them.
Oh,
and then
now I'm interested.
I got a text message from him. You want to know which ones he wears? Let's look.
Yeah.
Which
what do you mean you got text from him?
Not from Steve, from Moscot.
Oh.
Steve Carell wears the Arthur, a smart spec suitable for the office.
They tied it in.
I would not, to me, that marketing doesn't work. I don't want to wear the glasses Steve Carell wears.
That would influence me a little bit.
Let's look it up. Moscot, the Arthur, square. He's wearing square glasses. Interesting. I expected him to be a round glasses guy. I mean, they've got rounded edges. They're not really so square.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that he's wearing squares.
Well, this is what he's wearing. This is what he's got. I do like these glasses though, and I used the Klarna, not the Steve Carell glasses. I don't fucking give a shit.
I'm just laughing that we're talking about this.
It's accessories.
Yeah, accessories.
Nails, fingernails.
Nails, absolutely.
I used one of those payment things, Affirm, Klarna, whatever the fuck.
Oh, you did? That's a loan.
If there's no interest, I don't see the problem in it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, if you have the money and you take out one of those and there's some interest attached, then don't do that.
Right.
But when they're offering me, hey, pay every 2 weeks, $100, zero interest, I think, okay, I can just spread this out over a few paychecks and it won't, be any one lump sum I need to pay. It'll just kind of seamlessly fit into everything. I guess the issue is on the other side when people start doing that a lot.
Yeah, you do it on top. And you never really have the money to ever pay anything.
I have 16 different Klarna payments going. 12 Affirm. And what are
that's what people do. People really do that. And it's just like for Amazon. For bullshit. What did you buy?
Well, they put it in your face now. When you're the checkout, it's right there. Which I don't understand why, as a vendor, as a person who runs a business, because they're taking a decent size cut of the sale. And I guess the idea is you're opening up the consumer base. Well, more people will buy, so whatever. I'm giving, the small loan company a cut, but I have more people buying things. But something like these glasses, I would have bought them anyway. So because it was offered to me no interest, I said, yeah, I'll take this. And then they lost out on a cut of the money. It seems like a weird thing. But I guess it's like credit cards. We don't need to go down that path too deep. Don't get all angry about it.
I know.
The system
Careful.
and the people.
Careful.
But the percentage they take from the merchant, which is why for so long a lot of places wouldn't take Amex because it was a higher
because it
rate.
cost them more. Yeah.
That's why cash business seems. Well, these days when I hear a place is cash only, it feels shady. It feels like, okay, you're cooking the books.
Yeah, hiding the money.
But
that makes sense too.
But at some point in time, I could understand, no, I don't want to deal with all that credit card shit, and I don't want to give away, some of my income, my profit, my sales. Fuck them. And then on the flip side, you've got companies now that are trying to be card only. But in New
I
York,
really don't like that.
No, neither do I. But in New York, they outlawed that.
Good.
Because not everyone has access to cards, even if it's a debit card.
Right. Yeah. Some people don't have a bank. Some people, who knows? You don't know. But I also feel like money is legal tender and you have to take it. That was something I thought was strange about being on a flight and how they don't accept cash, which I understand why. You're a flight attendant. What are you making? Change? You have to have like a till and you have to account for all that money. That makes sense. But also it just seems illegal to not be able to take cash. To say like, nope, we do not take cash. Like the legal currency of this government, we don't take it.
Yeah, I've never thought about it on a plane. That's a good point. At Yankee Stadium, they don't take cash. But the way they get around that is if you have cash, you go to one kiosk where you preload a card with that cash. Right. So there's one place that takes cash, and that's what keeps them legal with the whole thing.
I see.
But that in itself, it's like you don't know how much you're spending, so you're going to overload the card probably.
Yeah, can you get the money back off the card?
I'm sure there's a way, but it's probably such a hassle that people say, whatever, I'm just going to leave the $7 on there. Yeah, I'll use it next time I go, or they never go again, or they lose the card, or they forget.
Yeah.
It's just a way for these people to make additional money, like the fucking Yankees need it. I'm not saying they set it up as a scam, but it's a nice little side benefit. But again, in the scheme of things with that team, who knows? If they got like $300,000 extra dollars a year from the additional funds people put on their preloaded cards.
They probably did.
Does that mean that much to them though? I mean, it's $300,000, sure, but I would be interested to see what those numbers are. It works like that with any preloaded thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that they had to do with gift cards. Remember, gift cards, you couldn't if you had like $5 left on your gift card and there was nothing in the store that cost $5, and you wanted that $5 back, they wouldn't let you have it. Or the expiration. That's what I was thinking of. It's the expiration date. If it this is money that I put on a card or that someone gave me, and you're saying that your card expires, what does that mean? Where's the money? It just expired. That means that you shouldn't get it either. But they already got the money.
They don't want you to use it. That's one of the biggest.
No, they don't want you to use it.
They love that shit.
But I think they made that illegal or whatever.
Well, you can, if you have a balance of $4.28 left on the card, can't you use it? And then you pay the rest of the balance some other way?
Yeah, you do that. I was thinking of the wrong thing. It was the expiration date that I was thinking of.
Well, there's the expiration date. There's the you haven't used this, so we're going to start taking out funds every month.
Oh, yeah.
Penalty. That's a weird fucking thing.
It really is. How is that legal? It can't be legal anymore. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
I have no clue. But I do think I am thinking about the number of gift cards I've gotten that I just have never used. You got to use them right away.
Yeah.
Else you do forget, or at least have to put them in some visible spot, which doesn't happen on my end.
Why do you have so many gift cards? I never get a gift card.
I feel like around Christmas time, it's an easy thing that people give. Especially for me. They know better than to try to pick out something for me. Don't pick out any clothes.
Yeah.
Don't pick out even talking about all the watch bands I have, which I have this nice organizer for them now.
Oh, nice. You have a display?
No, they're not on display. They're in like a zip up case that was made specifically for watch bands. But
wow.
How many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow. Greg, it's
13,
a lot.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
I can't
19,
talk, though. I can't talk.
21, 22, 23. I have like 23 different watch bands for 3 different watches.
Like I said, I can't talk because my kids pretend to spray me with water like you spray a cat when we go near Ulta, because I always want to go in and buy nails. They're like, Mom, no, Mom, no. I'm like, come on, just one pair of nails.
I know you were into nails so much.
Yeah, really into nails. I always got some nails going.
What do you do with the toenails?
They're painted right now because I got my toes done. Joe got me a pedicure, so they're done. But yeah, I've gotten fake nails for my toes. They look really good.
I'm judging him now.
Joe?
Somebody wanted a pedicure as a gift, or if they like pedicures, I would say I'm not facilitating that awful dynamic. Or that
Wait,
what? I'm saying
what?
I guess this is where a lot of problems arise in my relationships, where if somebody wanted something or liked something like a pedicure, I'd say, I'm not facilitating that awful dynamic where the person goes and rubs your feet and you sit there and you lounge like you're some kind of Cleopatra. Yeah. And they think about how their life is just difficult and they're just trying to survive. And how did it come to this?
They were an architect in Vietnam, but then they moved here and don't speak English. So they're like doing nails because their cousin owns the nails place.
Yeah. How did I get this person's foot in my face?
Yeah.
It was just like the time I didn't buy the shrimp for Christina, the last Christina.
Yeah, not this Christina, thank God.
Because the price discrepancy made no sense logically. You had the chicken and the rice or whatever it was, and then the shrimp and the rice. Very similar dish. I understand that shrimp is more. I get that it costs more, but not you don't jump from $8 to $21 for fucking shrimp. And you probably don't even tell people how many shrimp. I think with shrimp, you need to tell people how many they get.
So that they know what they're actually paying. And then did it also say market price?
This time it didn't, but I never do the market price.
Yeah.
I will never do market price because I don't trust you to tell me what the market's actually dictating. Market price means what you want it to be, what you've made up. I do not trust.
Well, all prices are made up.
Yes, but at least they're made up and they're put forth.
Put forth.
They're written, committed on a menu, even though that's changing with the QR code these days.
Well, and also, like, what do you mean they're made up? Like, outside of everything being made up, what about? What about just anything regular price? They're making that up, and then they can't change the price willy nilly because they don't like you or something.
They could. Market doesn't say on the menu.
No, they can't. No, that's right, but they can't do that in the computer system. It's always the same in the computer. No one's like.
Well, who's setting that price? I do not trust the
same
restaurant
people who are
owner.
setting the price who sets it, the Caesar salad at $24.
I don't trust the restaurant owner or the food shopper, whoever it is actually saying, telling the truth when they set the price for market price. They go and they pay $2. They go pay $2 and then they say, well, it cost me $6. Now I need to mark it up to $30 because we have to. Restaurants have very thin margins.
Yeah, but that's what happens with everything at a restaurant. So everything's made up.
I get that, but it's just easier to scam people with the market price.
Sure. But what if you really wanted the shrimp?
I think you need to put forth, look, $21 for 12 shrimp. That's a lot of shrimp, I guess, depending on the size. If they're small, then no, it's not too many. But
if they're small,
that's the other thing. They could be a range in size. There's too many variables.
Yeah, are we talking prawns?
But
are we talking those little shitty little teensy bugs?
But I think when you at least start with a number, and you could then say you get 12 shrimp for $20, and you can say, okay, that seems like a fair deal. And then if they come in, they're the shrimpy shrimp.
Yeah,
and you
shrimpy
get
shrimp.
The non-deveined small shrimp, so you're also eating their shit on top of it.
Ew.
Then you can be angry, but. Quite often, what do you get? You get like 4 shrimp. You get 3 fucking shrimp. Like, I want pad thai with shrimp. Oh, there's 2 in here. Thanks. Should be standardized because this markup. I don't understand why shrimp is so expensive.
I don't either. It's bugs.
Especially farm raised. Who cares?
Farm raised shrimp? They say that?
No, I just assume that's even easier. Shrimp seems like a very, very easy, simple thing to raise.
I don't feel like raising should be in the sentence because like, what are you like teaching it morals?
You just get a pool.
Yeah.
And you throw the eggs in. You
throw it in and you just make sure it's salty and you say, all right, see you later.
Yeah, you get to the point where
wait till I'm hungry.
You get to the point where there's so many they can't move.
Right.
And you just scoop them out. It's not that difficult. So why are they so expensive? Like, sure, if you're going out on a boat and, they got to do the net and the trolling and all that shit, fine.
All right. So that's what? Natural shrimp. What is that?
Yeah, it's like wild caught.
Wild caught shrimp.
That's a real thing. Like wild caught salmon and
no, I've heard of it with other things, but I've never heard of it with the shrimp.
I don't know. I
just like farm raised shrimp sounds funny.
Farm raised shrimp is a type of shellfish that is raised in enclosed structures.
In a farm.
There you go. Look at this.
You got to get up early and milk the shrimp.
This is what we should be doing.
Raising our shrimp. These shrimps aren't raised anymore. These shrimp need a 2-parent household.
I exposed a major shrimp farming operation. Here's a whole YouTube video. You exposed it? Is it illegal?
Oh, I exposed it. Oh, man, did I do an expose on shrimp. This fucking guy, everybody hates him. He does not shut up about shrimp.
So, look, here you go.
Don't invite Tom. He's on this shrimp kick. Like, he will not shut up.
The fear with the farm-raised shrimp is, yes, people, who knows what they put in the water, who knows what they feed them, the chemicals and all that stuff. Which I guess... Is the ocean any better? The ocean is a giant toilet. It's disgusting. Yeah. But I understand that when it's an enclosed space and if the farmers are not to be trusted and, they're fucking around, then sure, it could be dangerous.
They're fucking around too much, these shrimpers.
But if you're doing it properly, is it any more dangerous?
I doubt it. I don't know. Shrimp's gross anyway. Why are we talking about shrimp? Who cares about shrimp?
I know the wild is better quality. And then they're not exposed to antibiotics and chemicals and shit. But the price, come on with this price.
Market price? That's a big thing here because of crab. So like crabs are market price a lot of times.
Yeah, whatever we feel like tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it.
When you go get crawfish by the pound.
Oh, I've had some crawfish. I've never had it until recently.
It's a lot of work for a little bit of meat.
Oh, well, the crabs are that. The soft shell crabs are like that. You got to do all kinds of shit to get that crab meat out. At least with crawfish, you just like break it in half and eat the tail.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too much work, but I feel like
no,
compared to the body size and when they're weighing those things by pound, it's relatively cheap still, I feel, but I just had some on that trip to South Georgia. I had some bowl.
You had a shrimp bowl?
Yeah, I got crawdads and shrimps.
Oh, wait, it's not called a shrimp boil. What's it called?
It's a boil.
It's just called a boil? I had I don't understand what you do with the potato. It's like a whole chunk of potato. What do you do with that? I don't want that.
You eat it.
It's just a potato.
No, these were cubed at least.
Oh, good. You know what I'm talking about? Where they just put those...
They were quartered.
See, that's still too big.
Well, these aren't russet potatoes.
Yeah, I know. There's like those yellow ones or something, right?
Yeah, they're smaller.
Yeah, but still, I don't want that. It's the wrong ratio. There's too much potato.
If it's too small and it's in the boil, then it starts to fall apart.
Well, then you eat those fun little things. Yum.
Some people throw the whole little potato in there.
Yeah, see, I don't like that.
Anyway, we've been going for an hour and 7 minutes, and I have a meeting in 4 minutes. So
okay,
there's the episode on fingernails. We kind of got back on topic a bit.
A little bit. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us online. Tell your friends. Like and rate, review, subscribe. See you next week. Goodbye.